Hello everybody, I am Chantel and welcome to the first Disc Golf Pro Tour event of the year. The Las Vegas Challenge was definitely a great tournament to kick off the season. Even though it didn't go exactly how I planned, I just can't wait to get back out there and play some more disc golf. So I'm trying out something new for this video where I'm going to go over my feelings as the tournament goes on. So let me know if you enjoy this style or if you would just rather not listen to my voice while watching our videos.
We're here.
Yay! Alright guys, really early in the morning. I think it's like 6:20. Gonna go get some practice in. My tee time's at 7:08. Ooh, boy, am I nervous. I know I'm not supposed to say I'm nervous, but it's the first tournament of the year. I'm really excited to get this going though. Just want to get off the first couple holes and then play my game, so let's go! So this tournament had a nice big warm-up area with lots of baskets and lots of space for you to practice your upshots and your drives. So that was really nice, especially because it was very cold in the morning. So it was nice to get out and warm up a little bit before the round. But the first hole, oh, it's such a small hole and you feel like you need to get it because it is under 250. And I kept going way past the basket in practice. So I took a little bit off of my drive and I clipped that tree and I ended up in the hazard, but I hit that big putt to save my par, which gave me a little bit of confidence in the beginning of the round, which was nice. And you can see I'm just timid throwing my tee shots and I just early released that, so luckily this hole is very fair. It's a par 5, I think it's 666 feet, so it's pretty easy to save your par if you mess something up. Just relatively easy upshot to the basket. I left that a little bit short, but I have another pretty good putt. And then this is the hole where things started to spiral out of control, I guess. I threw my grim and it just turns over and it never comes back. I was a little confused about that, but there must have been some kind of headwind, but that's okay. You're allowed to make mistakes, don't get mad at yourself. And then I do this upshot and it hits the hill and it gets a really weird skip to the right. So I'm left with this kind of scary putt and I do not commit. So I'm left with another long putt and it chains out. So that was a triple bogey right there. That really hurts the soul. But we move on and I'm just doing an upshot with my breaker. I do it all the time. And I don't know, at the time I was like, what is happening? I just turned it over, almost went to the bunker. Luckily it was safe, but after reviewing the footage, I don't think it's really my wrist. I think it's the disc. The disc is getting really beat in and it kind of has been turning on me a lot, even in practice. So I thought it was me, but it makes me feel a little bit better that it wasn't just me. I kept finding myself in these tricky little spots where I didn't practice from on the practice days because I wasn't landing there. So that's always tricky and trying to decide whether to lay up or go for something. And on this hole, it was a fair par. So I just decided to lay up and take a par because I had 2 errant shots. So I was happy to save my par there. And then this is another hole that kind of spiraled out of control. I threw my grace and it was a headwind, so I thought it would turn, but I just put it way too nose up and it bounced OB. And then this upshot, I just didn't have good footing and I got no power on it, so it didn't go anywhere. And now this is for my, I think that was for my double bogey. So I got a triple on that hole. At this time, I'm kind of feeling a little down on myself just because now I am, +6 on the round. But this is a hole that it's just a par hole, so there was actually quite a few of those holes where I can't reach, so just get your drive out in the middle, do an upshot, take a par, move on. This is another one of those holes.
This feels much more heavy.
This hole, I would throw my judge on it on practice, and I would never get that close to the bunker. Luckily, it stayed in. I thought for sure it was in the bunker. I was like, okay, let's run this putt. And it wasn't a bad putt, just not enough power. Wasn't feeling that confident at this time, so it's hard to get those putts up and nice and confident when you're not feeling the greatest, you know? This is another hole where it's just a par hole for me. And then this hole, I was really excited. I threw this hole really good in practice, and I just pulled my putter a little bit to the right, so I ended up behind this big tree, and I was just finding trouble. So I ended up taking a bogey, and it sucks because these holes that are supposed to be my birdie holes, I was messing up and getting bogeys or double bogeys, so it was a rough first round, but we got through it and it was fun. I wish I could go back and play the course again because I know I could do better. We stuck around and we watched the FPO ladies play, and it's really cool to watch them play because they just throw so far. Okay guys, so round 1 is finished. I am feeling very confused about it because I followed my game plan and I played pretty clean golf besides 3 holes. I got 2 triple bogeys and 1 double. And then the rest of the round was pretty clean. So it's really frustrating that that happened, but I'm just, you know, trying to fight the nerves like usual. It's the first tournament of the year. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, but it's hard. You know, you practice all off season and you're feeling confident, and then just to go out there and be scared to putt again, it's so frustrating. One good thing is I putt 60% in circle 1. That was one of my goals, and I did it in the first round, and I honestly don't know how because I putt back and forth on a few holes. So today we are playing the Innova course, which is harder, so I'm hoping that I can play very well, maybe get a few strokes back. I really want to play Sunday. It doesn't look too good right now, but I'm confident that I can pull myself together, maybe putt a little bit better. My up shots were a little shaky. Hopefully I can get those going better. I have a very early tee time again. It is 6:15 and we are going to practice, and then my tee time is at 7:08 again, so let's go. I left Canada to come to Las Vegas to be warm, but we brought the cold because last week I guess it was 80s, and then next week it's going to be 80s.
Dang
Weeks
it.
that we weren't here. So day 2 of the tournament, we are on the Innova course. I was really excited to play this course just because it was supposed to be the harder course, and I was confident and I was going to come back and do well, and I told myself I was going to be very confident putting today. So this first hole, it's always nerve-wracking, but it's a par hole for me, so I just try to not get behind a bush, which I did, and as you can see here, I throw the breaker again and it turns on me. And I do a very unconfident putt to start with a bogey for the round. But this hole, hole 2, I parked every time in practice, so I was feeling very confident that I could do it again. And I threw the perfect shot and I was right under the basket. So that kind of gave me that little boost of confidence that I needed. Since I just got a bogey, that always kind of makes you sad. And then this hole's kind of scary. I kept overthrowing it at practice, so I just told myself take a little bit off. And I was so close to the bullseye. I was really happy with that. And even those short putts, they get me a little bit nervous because you're like, okay, I have to make this putt. It's very close, so it's just a little bit nerve-wracking still. This is another par hole for me. Just pitch up, take your par. Nothing too fancy. This next hole, hole 5, definitely an eagleable hole, definitely birdie. So I'm just throwing my Blizzard Destroyer out there, trying to get as much distance off the tee as I can, and it worked out really well. I was further than I ever was at practice. So I'm looking straight at the basket, and me and Chris are going back and forth, like, should I go for the eagle? Should I risk it or just take an easy birdie? So I decided to lay up, take the easy birdie. And as you can see, I just yanked my upshot. Almost went OB. Oh, I was so mad at myself. So now I have this for birdie. I feel like I gave it a decent run, just not enough power. And I was really upset with myself there because, you know, you're trying to play safe and then you kind of screw yourself. But that's okay, it was a par. And this hole, I just didn't commit. I was scared, but par's not bad. Now this hole is scary. I didn't practice this much. Like, I would just take a very overstable disc and launch it OB, basically. This one I committed with my grace, and it paid off because now I just have a, like, 150-foot upshot to the green. Thought I left it a little short, but it got up there. And that's a nice birdie to get. I feel like it's definitely one that you want to get because some people are struggling with that hole. So if you get it, you're getting strokes on some people. Throwing my thrasher here, and I thought the angle was good, but it just kept turning. I think we had a headwind, which we had a tailwind for the practice days. So it's a little bit different throwing the discs on this course this day. I left that upshot a little bit short, but we make good and I get another birdie. That's another hole where it's like a really hard par 3 or easy 4. This is a par hole for me. I just like to toss 2 drives, do a little upshot to the basket and take the 4. There is a bunker to the right and OB past the basket, so I didn't want to get too greedy there. Now this hole, I thought I did the perfect drive, and it just kept turning again. The Grim was, I don't know, it had a mind of its own that day. So I almost went OB to the right. So I wasn't here in practice, and I was kind of confused on what to do because there was a bunker straight. So I just took my stable Ballista Pro and kept it out to the left just to make sure that I wasn't messing around with the hazard. And it is a par 5, so I still can get up there for a birdie. I wasn't going to try anything crazy to get the eagle again. And I left it short. Yay, but I made the putt. So this hole was a little tricky because we had a headwind and the other days we were playing with a tailwind. So I took my grace out. I definitely thought it would turn more, but I just got it 2 nose up and it hyzers out. So I was fine with taking the par. But this jump putt was terrible. It just got caught on my finger, turned over, and left me with this putt. Oh, that's so sad. I think that putt could have stayed, but it was pretty bad, so had to take the bogey there. Then this hole was a little tricky too because now we had a tailwind. And I just didn't commit to going over OB, so I was on this weird slope, but we got close enough for the par putt, and I saved the par.
Oh no, miss it! Ooh.
Oopsie. I got really lucky there. I early released to hit that tree, but it made it over out of bounds. And then I was going for the pin here, but I hit that tree. And luckily it dropped me down right before the bunker. So I'm kind of giving this like a half bid. And I missed, but I saved my par. Another pretty forgiving hole there. This is definitely a birdie hole that I want. So I throw my drive, it was good. Throw my other drive, it was fine. Now I just have this easy upshot to the basket. And it was a different wind, so I was trying to figure out if I wanted to throw the breaker or throw the judge, and it was right to left. So I thought that the judge would hyzer out towards the basket, and it just never did. So I'm left with this annoying long putt. So I had to settle for the par. That was sad. And if you didn't notice, I'm putting with Chris's soft judge, and it's very rubbery, so I didn't get a single roll away with this disc, which I'm so happy about because I usually putt with the prime judge, and I feel like I would have got some rollaways with some of the putts that I missed. This is another hole that's definitely a birdie hole. And I left my second drive short. So here I'm expecting to kind of hyzer out again and be left of that green right there. But I threw it so straight, never faded, and I'm right in the middle of it. And now I have an upshot to the basket, and I turn that disc again. It's so like floppy that I feel like it gets stuck on my finger and turns, but I hit that really good putt to save my bogey. This is definitely a birdie hole as well, short par 4. And at the last second I get scared of the OB on the left and I don't commit to the hyzer and it turns over, and now I'm stuck doing this tricky upshot. There's a tree in my pull, so I have to like shorten my pull, and I just couldn't get the power that I wanted. I am running this though. I still wanted this birdie, but it was just too right. But I still saved the par with an errant tee shot, so that was nice. And then hole 18. I knew exactly what to do. I did it really good in practice, so I was feeling confident. Just throw my Undertaker out there, throw it straight again, and then an easy upshot to the basket for a birdie, hopefully. Again, I'm throwing that soft judge. Oh, that makes me so sad. So now I have to lay up for the par. Oh, it's fully good. Dang. Guess it's not meant to be. I am.
Alright, Chantel, how did your round go?
So today went way better than yesterday. I still left so much out on the course. Like, I was doing really silly mistakes. For some reason, my upshots were way off. I don't know. I feel like my upshots were like usually the good part of my game. So I would get there for like an easy birdie. I just had to do like a 200-foot upshot, and I would like yank it or turn it over. It was very, very weird, but I played pretty clean and got some birdies, and I finished with a -2, and I'm pretty happy with that. I always want more though. It's like when I make a mistake, I just, you know, I want to not make a mistake.
How's your healthy salad?
Is Caesar salad healthy?
I don't know.
I mean, you get nutrients still from the lettuce.
There's green stuff in it.
This is the first time we're out at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, so day 3, we are playing the factory store. I was very excited to come play this because I felt like I had the most practice on this course, and just feeling confident from the day before. On this first tee, Chris wasn't there to tee off with me, so he missed my absolutely great tee shot straight into the tree, had another upshot, and it landed me here. So now I am doing another sidearm just to try to get to the basket for a bogey at least. But I feel like my putts on the first hole are always so timid. I don't know why that first putt always gets in my head. So, you know, it could have stayed in, I feel like, but I didn't deserve it. That was not a confident putt. And then on this hole, my drive was a little bit shorter than I wanted, but I know I could get up there for an eagle. I did it in practice, and this shot was just not confident. I threw it straight into the ground, and yeah, not a very good effort. So I'm left with this hyzer shot over the trees. And I'm really proud of myself because that is a shot I don't like doing, and I got myself in the circle for a birdie putt, but I have to straddle around this tree. And this is something I've actually been practicing in my house, and I hit the line. It just was a little too short. This tee shot, Chris films really good, but it was OB, like for sure. And then somehow it fell back in bounds. Like that was a nice break. So I just pitch up, take my par. Super happy about that. this I considered a birdie hole, and I guess my disc landed in bounds, but it just rolled into the hazard, so had to putt. And I was really trying hard to make this. I didn't care if there was death behind it. Confident though, it was high enough, but I had to take the bogey on that one. This is definitely a birdie hole. This is a shorter par 4. Some danger with the green. There was a headwind, so I take out my zone and I throw it like I would my judge. And I didn't think about how less glidey it is, so I did not make it over the green. And I was really upset with myself there because now I'm throwing to save my par. Obviously, I'm not going to throw it in from here. So there is my another bogey. This hole also is definitely a birdie hole. You just got to get 2 good drives out there, then pitch up for an easy birdie, which these drives were fine. And I was struggling this round because the wind was totally opposite than the day we practiced. So all my upshots were just so unconfident. My judges were turning over, as you can see here. And I just didn't know what to do because I wasn't confident throwing my breaker because it was flipping over on me on my other upshots, and my zone just doesn't have that glide that I'm looking for. So I was really struggling this round with my upshots, and it wasn't fun. This is a par hole. It's very far, so I'm just tossing my grace out there, then a little upshot with my zone, which I didn't throw hard enough again. I don't know why, I'm just being shy with that zone. So I left a little bit left, but I do a good putt, so save the par there. Now this, I'm throwing a brand new wraith because I threw my wraith into the pond, and when I was practicing with it, it seemed very stable, so it was perfect for the headwind, right? So I decided, let's just do that because my grace was turning over. And it just stays so perfectly straight, no hyzer at all, and I am on the green. So now I gotta pitch up for my bogey. This is another par hole, pretty far. I'm just throwing my destroyer. Oh. And I hit a goose straight in its beak. I felt so bad, but he ruined my shot. So now I'm sad, and I'm way further than I usually am. And I'm throwing my judge, and it just gets like smacked down by the tailwind. So I'm in a really bad spot here. I tried very hard, but I'm under the basket for another bogey. And this is a pretty straightforward hole. Another par hole for me. You toss it out there, avoid the water, do a nice upshot, take your par, move on. Here's that wraith again. We can guess what's going to happen. It's like a slight headwind, little bit of a right to left. And look how stable that thing is now. Straight OB. I was so upset. It's like, okay, I'm not throwing that anymore. So I take out my grace and put it on slight hyzer, and it just flips over, and that's why I didn't throw it on the tee shot. But I didn't have like a reliable disc for that headwind that I knew would fade just a little bit but not too much. I throw my zone up there and I left it short, and this is for my bogey, I believe. Pretty sure. So I really want to make this. I'm trying to get comfortable. I have a low ceiling and it drops off behind the basket, but I decided to stand, and I'm so happy that I made that putt because I don't want any more double bogeys. This hole's pretty tricky. I think it's over 900 feet, par 5, and I was having trouble getting there for a birdie, so I kind of just decided that it was a par hole. Oh, and I yank this. Like, I want to be more left of the fairway so I don't have to do a sidearm into the green, but I have to do a sidearm into the green. And I'm not not mad at that effort, but it definitely did not get the skip that I was wanting. So I am left with this to save my par. I was feeling confident. And I just hit high left. So that's another bogey. This is definitely a birdie hole. This is a shorter par 4. Just toss it up there. Easy upshot. Avoid the bunker. Hopefully don't get a roll away. So that was nice to get that birdie after that string of bogeys. This is another birdie hole. You just want to get it out to the left, not go behind the only little stick tree. I thought I left that too high, but it turned out to be okay. So 2 birdies in a row. I was feeling a little bit better. We get to hole 15, super headwind, tons of people watching. I was kind of confused what to throw because there's OB left. I didn't want to throw something too stable and it bounced OB, and I just gripped locked that so hard. Oh, so I went straight OB. I had to re-tee, but I make the correction. But now this is for my bogey. I just left that way too high and the wind takes it. So right now I'm feeling very nervous. I need to make this or this is going to be a triple. So I was really happy to make that. Oh, and this hole, this is the another hole I know I can eagle, and the wind was just terrible. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to do the hyzer because it would be a straight headwind, and I didn't want to end up in the bushes. So I just stuck to my game plan, threw the anhyzer, and it was okay until it started hyzering. The wind just took it, sent it OB. Oh, I was so sad. So now I'm just trying to scramble for par. As you can see on my face, I'm not impressed. Threw a nice little upshot, saved the par, so it was nice that that hole didn't spiral out of control. But I am pretty sad at this point. I know I needed to play a good round to get to the cut, so I'm feeling a little down. Oh, and that hurt. I hit the first tree. And now I have this upshot. I'm getting really frustrated with myself because it's just... it's like my body is not doing what I want it to do. So just throwing these upshots, low ceiling. And then I'm stuck with this for my double. And it was super windy. Yes, I'm pretty sure that was a double. And then the last hole comes. My drive is very good. I just saw 2 ladies go OB on the green, so I'm like, just pump it out there, get it across the green. Finish the round off with a birdie, you can do it. Oh, and I skid off the green and it's safe. I keep juicing this upshot for some reason. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because it's uphill and I think I have to throw further, but I was able to end the tournament with a birdie, so even though I didn't make the cut, it was a really good experience. Like, I achieved my goal. I got 60% C1 putting in the first round, and the last round I had 70% in C1. So, you know, that's progress, and that's all I want. I just want to keep getting better. I'm really excited to just keep playing a lot of tournaments because I've only played in 15 PDGA events, and that just seems crazy to me. So I'm hoping to double that this year. So that is all for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you liked this style better than the other tournament style vlogs where I go over all my shots with you guys, or if you like just the little end round recaps. But I just want to say thank you again so much for joining, and we will see you in the next one.